Welcome to Redemption Story, where we share real testimonies of God's freedom and transformation. I'm your host, Amie Bernis, and together we'll explore how biblical truth and practical tools can help break patterns, renew the mind, and walk in lasting freedom through Christ. Let's dive in and discover the redemption story God is writing in all of us. I know. Welcome back, everyone. Today, I am especially excited. I have my friend Sarah with us, and Sarah and I have known each other for a few years, and she was on my podcast before. And so I reached out to her and asked if she would come back on, and she said absolutely. So I am so excited to have Sarah back. So welcome, Sarah.
Thank you, Amie, for having me. It's really nice to see you again and be on here with you. I'm excited to have this conversation today.
It's so fun, honestly, too, because I mean, we don't really see each other ever in person. So we just follow each other, really through our social media and see how life has evolved. And so I just love that's the one thing I love about social media is you can use it for good, right? Because sometimes it can be draining, but when you use it for the right reasons, like following people that you admire, I think that that's a great use of it. So I've loved
Yes.
watching and following along with your journey.
Yes. Same for me. It's been so fun to follow you and read your book and just see everything that you have evolved and grown into through all of your life experiences since we met. I think we met one time in person, and ever since then, have just been connected on social media. So that's been really fun.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate it. It's just so, to keep going and have people that support you, it truly means so much to keep going and do the things that are hard.
Yes. Oh, yes. Big
I
life
know.
changes. We're
Yeah,
women chasing dreams and chasing big things and making big moves. And it is fun to have that support and know that we're not alone.
I know. I love it. And I'm just so glad you're here. Tell us just a little bit about yourself and so people can kind of know you a little bit more.
So I am Sarah Meyer. I am a realtor. I was a personal trainer turned realtor. So I come from a background of physical health, nutrition, helping people, nurturing people. That's what I love to do at the end of the day. And so
Mhm.
I get to do that through real estate now, which is really fun. It's so fulfilling. And I feel like I've kind of found my calling. And so I kind of weave the two together. I'm also a mom of two. I have an 8-year-old and a 10-year-old, and then I'm a stepmom of a 20 and a 21-year-old. I'm on marriage number two, and we're almost 2 years married. And I'm an Arizona girl. Lived in Montana for 12 years, and I'm back in Arizona. Flagstaff is my hometown, and that's where I get to live and work and raise my kids. And um, just been that's that's kind of me in a nutshell.
Yeah, I love it. So you have the ranges in your children are quite expansive. I mean, 20s adults to then, 8 and 10, which are those are
Yes.
such fun ages because they're still not quite like sassy teens where they're really pushing boundaries. So you kind of get the
Yes.
best of both worlds there, I feel like.
Yes, they're my biggest teachers every day, and it's fun to be a stepmom, but I don't have that parenting role necessarily. I'm more like
Yeah.
a peer and just a support, and so that's really been a fun experience to kind of grow into. And then Andrew has the full stepdad role. He's got two youngers that he gets to help raise, and so that's been a whole experience and adjustment and something that we're both learning and working through every day.
I bet. I bet. And so what part of I forget where in Montana you were before.
So I was in Billings.
Okay, in Billing. Okay.
Yeah.
I could not remember. So my parents are back in so I actually got to go out twice in June and in September, and they are in St. Regis, so they're almost in Idaho. I'm like, you guys
Okay.
couldn't have picked a little bit closer to me. Like
Yeah.
I have to drive an extra 8 hours just to get through the state.
Oh my gosh. I know, and I just have you placed in Montana because that's where we met, I think, or we
Yes.
met at a
Yes.
convention maybe, but you were
Yeah.
Montanan, and so I just have you placed there. I forget that you've moved and yeah. And you share
No,
your
I love
beautiful
it.
everything all the time. It's awesome where you are now.
Yeah, my dad is from Wisconsin, and then my mom is from Montana. So we moved to Wisconsin. My actually when I was going to be a freshman in high school. So 1,300 miles across the United States.
Oh my
That was
gosh.
kind of one of the hardest things I think, like especially as a teen, that I had to go through, and
Yeah.
kind of shaped me into into the person that I am today. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's
That
big
is so
moves.
interesting because that's what my kids do. Their dad's in Montana still, so
Yeah. So
almost
did
1,000
they go
miles
to
away.
school by you?
So, yep, they're with me for the school
Okay.
year and they're with him during the summer. So they get
Okay.
their summers in Montana and they get the rest of the year here. So they have the best of both worlds.
That is so nice because the summers are beautiful in Montana, and
Yes.
I've never been to Arizona. I would really like to, but it seems
Yes.
like
You've got to
it's also
come.
great. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Do you have mountains by you then in Flagstaff?
Yes. So I am
Oh,
in the mountain town Flagstaff. It's the one
ugh,
mountain in the middle of the desert. So we're
that is
almost at
so
we're at 68,000, 6,500 feet. 68,000, 6,500 feet, almost 7,000 feet here in Flagstaff. So
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
yeah.
That's amazing. So you really do. So you guys I imagine you get snow and some
Yes.
colder weather? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. But the sun still shines. So
That's
I love
awesome.
it.
That is the best of both worlds. We had not really had winter. Like we had winter 2 years ago, but not like we normally get. And this year it's been kind of brutal, like 45 below, snow every day. It's been a tough one.
Oh my gosh. Not for me anymore.
Ugh, I know. I try to just, get through it and keep myself busy, but that's all
Yeah.
right. We all have to go through that. So, one thing I have on my mind, I don't know why this question has just been sitting in the back of my head, but so what is one thing right now do you think that in like your faith, what is one thing that is kind of a struggle for you right now?
Hmm. It has been so fun to watch you kind of grow in your faith and be more outward with it and share more and just really lean in. I think
Yeah.
that I have that in me.
Mhm.
For me, it's probably the consistency of practicing it every day, kind of getting out of my own way. Um,
Yeah.
I would say so. I would say that's it. Whenever I
Yeah.
feel like I'm like off track or kind of wandering, I'm like, oh, I need to check in with God here. I need to open my
Yeah.
Bible. I need to pray. And I don't know why it is so easy to slip away from that. It's just that discipline and that consistency, I think, to get into the practice um, of being faithful,
Yeah.
living in faith, you know?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. I think that so like for me, I always think of it as like people that are taking say a certain medication and it helps them get better and then they stop and I don't know why I'm using this because I'm not like a big medication person
Yeah.
um but like it helped them and then they stop using it
Yeah.
and then
Why
they
do
get
we
worse
veer
again.
off? I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's
Distraction.
yes, and we're
Yeah.
looking for, like, the instant gratification or the relief from something to help us feel better, and so I think that that's a great reminder of really, like, practicing that and putting it in. Um, what are some things that you do that help you stay in it? Do you have, like, a routine or anything?
Yeah, so I really have to practice slowing down. I have a very busy mind. I am very
Yeah.
active. I have a lot of energy. And
Yeah.
so and I have really kind of learned where to put that in my day because I wake up with a lot of energy. And so it's
Mhm.
hard for me to practice that being still and being in that prayer time at certain times of the day. So I really have had to figure that out for myself and identify where is that for me and what does that look like.
Yeah.
Um, but I really do practice. I do it in the morning while I'm working out. So it's like, how do I integrate this into how I like to move? And it looks different for everybody. Some people need to sit quiet in a corner or be in the dark or whatever. I
Mhm.
really kind of talk to God while I'm moving my body and while I'm working out, getting moving in the morning.
Yeah.
That works best for me. That's when I'm most grounded. That's when my heart is most open and
Mhm.
when I can really give and receive feedback and feel most connected.
I love that. I would love to have your energy in the morning because I have tried for like, I'll get up and I have my routine and I do it, but if I could start my day off at 7 instead of 5 every day, I would be so happy, but unfortunately, I have to start it at 5.
Yeah. Yep. I'm with you here too. Yep. It's an early day usually, and then by 1 o'clock I'm crashing.
Ugh, I know, it's tough. You get to that time and you're like, oh, and you're kinda, like, feeling like you need maybe a nap, but
Yeah.
I
Yep.
love your energy. That's one of my favorite things about you. You are so I see all that you do and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, Sarah is just like boom, boom, boom."
Might be a little ADHD, but the consistency is where I've got to practice being still sometimes and the consistency and limiting the distractions.
Yeah, I totally get that. I feel guilty sometimes. And lately, honestly, it's kind of a blessing in disguise how crazy it is online that it's actually kind of pushed me off of it because it was just like it's people I think people expect you to put your energy everywhere all the time, and if God's not telling me, he personally keeps telling me, keep your eyes on me." And so, it's been a
Yeah.
blessing to get off there because then I find myself really actually reading more in the Bible and doing the things that fill me instead of deplete me, so I feel like there's always good that can be used from the bad, and I think God is really
Yes.
good at doing that.
Yes. Yes. I
So
agree. Yeah.
I I don't know if I've ever asked you, but I would love to hear so for you, your faith, like, growing up, what did that look like? And kinda take us through that.
I really was kind of guided into it from friends, people that I would, excuse me, babysit for, my grandparents. So my step grandpa was a pastor, and he he I feel like really led a lot of our family to God.
Mhm.
Um, but I did not grow up in a church going family. We didn't pray together. We didn't pray at meal times. We didn't talk about God. It wasn't part of our daily life. And so it really
Yeah.
was just sprinkled in from outside sources, just slow drips over time.
Mhm.
And no matter what was happening in life, I just always was directed and guided to God and to
Mm.
faith, no matter what was going on. There was just always someone just being a little bit more louder and a little more distracting in my life
Yeah.
that was showing that to me. And so
Mm.
I think through lots of loss and of course a lot of grief, but also lots of good things that have happened, God's
Mhm.
just always been like, I'm right here. I'm right here. I'm right here. I'm right here. And
Wow.
so it took me a long time to recognize that. But I do have a specific memory where I stopped to visit my grandparents. I was driving through Flagstaff to Phoenix, and they lived in Camp Verde at the time. And so I passed through and I felt like I should just stop and say hi to them. I was probably, I don't know, 18, 19.
Mhm.
And we stopped and had a really good visit. My grandma handed me this card, and it was a card. It's a very popular card that you can hand out to people um, who you want to kind of introduce to God or just kind of be that seed for them. But
Yeah.
it's a card of Jesus knocking on a heart-shaped door, like Jesus knocking on your heart, like, "Let me into your heart."
Mhm.
And I still have that card. It's my Bible,
Oh, nice.
bookmark to this day. But I just remember they were never pushy or, um they were just never pushy about it. They would always just sprinkle it in whenever you would visit with them. They would just sprinkle it in somehow, some way. They were just so magical in that way. And
Oh.
I recently wrote my grandpa a card. He's 92
Oh my
and my grandma
gosh.
passed away, and I recently wrote him a card and just said thank you. Thank you for being the one in my life that introduced me to God and just always kept sprinkling it, never pushed it, never forced it, never made it awkward or, and just was always an invitation.
Mhm.
And that was just a pivotal moment for me to have that card and go, okay, like, okay. And so
Yeah.
I remember praying and she prayed with me, like, okay, God, please, come into my heart, change me, be with me, be in my
Yeah.
heart. And I think when I start to kind of, um get off track or maybe stray a little bit, because I think we
Mhm,
all do sometimes. We think we've
mhm.
got this and we kind of get in our ego
Yes.
and we can stray. And I always come back to that. Okay, God, come back into my heart. You're welcome into my heart. And I pray
No.
that over my kids and my husband and our household. And so that's just, I'm just so thankful for those people throughout my life that have just sprinkled it and planted the seeds over and over and over.
Oh, I love that. That is
Yeah.
such a sweet testimony, and it's so like, to me, it makes me feel like it's so important to keep sharing that, like you said, they never forced it, but to keep talking about it because it's those mustard seeds, like, that we hear all the time, and I think sometimes we really don't internalize just how important those are. I mean, it's like, for you, that was, like, a huge part of you keeping your relationship with God, so that's so beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
good teary-eyed.
I have a very I tend to be kind of a controlling kind of personality where I can be like dominating and I want to do things my way. And so
Good.
it's always there. Like, okay, nope,
Mhm.
God's got this. God's got me. And that's
Yeah,
such a it's been such a great thing for me to have in my life.
I love that. I
Yeah.
love that like, if you have that kind of personality, like, you do, you're very, like, take charge, you're gonna make things happen, but I think it's also important, like you said, to pray over your family and to ask God into your heart, like, that is huge because I think a lot of people don't realize the power of asking God really and staying in obedience and alignment with where He's taking us because you could listen to what he says and then just decide to do everything on your own, and that's not like, he wants to partner with us and do the things with us, and,
Yeah.
he gives us authority
Even
and
if
the
it's
dominion.
not what you want.
Yes!
Sometimes it could be like, okay, God, here we go. So
Oh my
it can
gosh.
be challenging to be brave sometimes to follow what he's asking you to do.
That is so true. Such a good point because sometimes like I think that when we go through struggles or suffering, our first reaction is like, why is this happening to me? Instead of saying, what is this trying to teach me? And I know people will be like, oh my gosh, I'm so sick of hearing that. But it is true, so true, because I went through just I don't know, some weird health stuff, like nothing super crazy, but just like some weird like head pain, and then my back went out and I got super sick, and but it was just like one after another. So I was having a really hard time just like staying grounded. And then after I went through it, I was just like, wow, God, I think God is asking me like, let go of what you think is supposed to be happening and allow me in. And I was just like, okay, I realized I've still been self-reliant because
Yeah.
that was my nature. I was just going to make it happen even if it wasn't where God was taking me.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. And it's so easy to slip back into that. It's just like it's always right there. It's
Yeah.
always right there to slip back into. I had a mentor tell me, um, I think just with like my hernia, I've had some skin cancer stuff, like some weird
Mhm.
kind of things come up where I'm like, I'm kind of too young for this.
Yeah.
Um, and just weird sickness. But I have a mentor who is very, she really mentors from faith, and she's very grounded in her faith and her relationship with God, and she kind of leads with that. And
Mhm.
she said one time, when you are sick, you're out of alignment. And
Mhm.
I mean, I know we can catch colds and germs are germs, and those kinds of things can happen that are out of our control. But
Yeah.
I think that when big things happen or shifts in our body that we're like, ooh, where's this coming from? This tension, this dis-ease going on.
Yeah.
um, it really is true because it's like, okay, where do I need to slow down? Where do I need to pay attention here? What needs to shift? And it really
Yeah.
does bring you back to God and bring you back into your heart and kind of ground you. So I always think of that, like, am I out of alignment here? Like, okay, God,
Mhm.
where am I?
Mm.
You're
That
asking
is
me to
so
check myself right now, so I'm checking myself.
true. Yeah. I love your willingness to check in and, That kind of made me think, so, like, you and I really do share a passion for health and wellness, and I never had an interest in going into the medical field, but I very much am interested in mental health, and so being
Yes.
in graduate school now for clinical mental health counseling, it is still very much on my heart. Like, I'm not interested in the normal medical model because clearly that's not working, and
Yeah.
so I've had to really, like, thank goodness the university I'm going to is very faith-based, so we do learn things in the biblical worldview and not just the secular where, they don't address so much of the spiritual, and like you said, the the alignment, like dis-ease, so much of what we experience, I shouldn't say so much, everything we experience is spiritual, and I think that our world, well, because there's an enemy, right, to God, and he he wants to take us out of, a relationship with God. So learning what I'm learning about mental health and, like you said, disease, and realizing that it's for spiritual, um, wh- how where I'm trying to, like, think of how to phrase this, but how have you noticed that there's so much more spiritual things going on in our world than just, like, the physical?
Oh my gosh. I think
It's a loaded question.
I know, probably same for you. I've just immersed myself in that world being coming from the health and wellness background and really trying to address things without medications or band-aids, like really
Yeah.
addressing the root causes of things
Yes.
and going back to the roots. And
Mm,
whether it's stemmed from trauma or injuries, and I think it's just the world I've immersed myself in. And again, I've had all these people just kind of sprinkle throughout my
mm,
life and that have popped in and out. And I'm really more aware now. I'm like, okay, like this, I've had so many spiritual people around me that I know God is like, you need this friend, you need this mentor. This is the right therapist for you. This is because everybody has been so in alignment
mhm.
with themselves and with God and spirituality and holistic thinking. Um, I just feel lucky and blessed that I've been able to be immersed in that world. So I think just the
Yeah.
education and being curious and
Mhm.
learning.
Yeah.
And it's funny that you're going through this education. I'd love to know more about it. I keep getting ads for um, Christian health leadership certificates, Christian health, holistic, um, like personal training, but coming from
Yeah.
a faith-based background and holistic background. And I think that is so interesting. I mean, 5 years
Yeah.
ago, there was nothing like that around.
Right.
Maybe 5, 10, maybe a little bit
Mhm.
longer.
Mhm.
Um, but even just in the personal training world, it was very by the book kind of medically, and this is how you move and that's it. It's there was
Yeah.
no spirituality tied
Mhm.
in. There was no holistic thinking. Um, so I do think it's just a new awareness and a new awakening kind of happening right now anyways, and I'm so glad to be a part of it. I'm so glad to be living in
Mhm.
this time and be learning and watching and living it and just taking it all in. And maybe some people aren't immersed in it like we are.
Yeah.
So that's where I feel lucky and blessed. It's like, wow, like I have these people in my life that are teaching me so much and
Mm.
it feels so good. Like it feels right. I feel in alignment when I am learning and wanting to um adopt some of those practices into my life. Like it feels good. It feels right.
Mhm.
So I think it's just the mentors and the sprinkling of people that keep coming in.
Yeah. That's amazing, and I'm sure God has been guiding all those people to you. And I think that, so we see a lot now where it's self-defeating beliefs. We're seeing this where everything on this is bad, everything on this is good. I mean, it is so in our faces, and I truly believe, like, you cannot convince me that all of the media is made to manipulate. Like they're using psychology. Like the things I'm learning, I'm looking and I'm like, this is literally psychology used on people, and they have no idea that our brains are being manipulated by all of this to create destruction, to destroy, to tear apart, to divide. And I just want to, I'm just like, please, like, stop looking out and allowing yourself to be shaken without first bringing it to God. Like, take every thought captive to Christ. And that's truly what, if
Yes.
all of us
Oh my
started doing
gosh.
that and stopped taking everything we see, like, even if it's something that you maybe say necessarily align with, but it's just twisted just enough, because that's what the enemy does. He just takes everything
Mhm.
God does, he can't create, and he twists it. And I'm like, oh my goodness, I've had so many like revelations lately. Like, instead of living through my, like, thinking I'm fighting for victory, I'm I'm literally living through the victory that Jesus already died on the cross. Like, we're not fighting for victory. We're literally living on his victory. And it's been changing so much in my mind.
That's good. Oh my gosh, that's good. Yes. It
Yeah.
is so true. Oh my gosh. Yes.
It's so huge.
You
And
have to have the biggest you have to have the strongest guard
mm,
on your mind, like the door of your mind.
that is, you're so right. And so I just have to take it here just for a minute. So like when I grew up, it was, I mean, like, my parents raised us Catholic. We weren't super like we went to church, but it was nothing, intense. Like, there was a faith in God. But I felt like I was taught more of, like, I felt like they were teaching me to be more afraid of Satan and
Fear.
hell
Yeah.
than they were fostering my relationship with God. And so when I got into my 20s, I kind of went to the new age, where the hard thing about new age is there are truths, like the power of what you say and the things you are focusing on. Like Jesus tells us, like, the things that come out of your mouth defile, right? So like there is truth in that. However, instead of we are a reflection and we carry God's responsibility, they're telling us like we are God. Like, so there were pieces that I kind of like got into that, and I felt like I always had to save myself. Like, I was consistently trying every new thing I could find, and it just felt like it was a bottomless pit. And finally, because like I knew Jesus, but I didn't know him, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't have a relationship with him. And when I finally did, I was like, I never ever, and I'm saying this from the bottom of my heart, ever was going to be that person, the Jesus person. Like, that just wasn't who I was until I built my relationship. And now my mouth, I literally physically can't not talk about him
Yeah.
anymore. And
Yeah.
so I,
Oh my
I
gosh,
see.
that's a transformation. Yeah.
Yes, yes. And it's so easy to get lost in, like, changing your identity and what you believe in. I think people try to hold you to that. And I'm like, I'll be completely honest and open about my struggles and the things I went through. But there's just no denying that the truth now is rest in Jesus, you know?
That's amazing.
It's so good. It's so
Yeah.
good. Um,
Yes.
so I believe the last time we had talked a little bit. You had you had lost your brother, correct?
Yes. I lost
Oh,
my brother when I was 14. He was 16.
that's right. Okay.
Yeah.
And so in that time, what did your faith look like? How did you get through that? What did that time do in your faith?
Oh gosh, I think that's where I did have a lot of people really pouring in,
Mhm.
trying to support a 14-year-old and the rest of our family kind of going through that loss. But I look back, I've had to do a lot of work from kind
Mhm.
of that age forward.
Yeah.
Just some digging because I feel like I resisted help, which I still do to this day.
Mhm.
That is a challenge for me. But I resisted help. I resisted talking to people, therapists. I
Mhm.
kind of shut down and dealt with things my own way. But I also shifted into being the fixer and the nurturer and the strong one for my family because my parents fell apart. And
Mm. Yeah.
they didn't have the skills, and so they didn't have the skills to teach me the skills. So we were all kind of, floundering and in shock,
Yeah.
and I disassociated and shut down for many, many, many years.
Mm.
And that was at 14. And
Yeah.
so there's a lot going on hormonally,
Mm.
um, just, without any sort of trauma. Like 14 is kind of a traumatic age, just,
It is.
normally.
It
So you
is.
add in things like that. And then my parents were divorced. They had been divorced since I was 2. So it was a
Mhm.
dynamic that I was used to, but
Right.
kind of seeing, how, and I had step parents, I have step parents on both sides.
Mhm.
But basically both family units just kind of fell apart.
Yeah.
Um, in a slow motion kind of way. And so I didn't deal for a lot of years. And I think
Mhm.
when my grandparents handed me that card, I was thinking I was probably about 18 or 19 because
Yeah.
I had moved out and I was living in Phoenix after high school.
Mhm.
And so it was on my drive to like go back to Phoenix. And so I think really for 4 or 5 years, I was just kind of shut down and not I don't think it wasn't like, "Oh, I don't believe in God. No way. Why did this happen?" I wasn't necessarily angry or shutting God out. I
Mhm.
just didn't have the skills or wasn't open to anything.
Mm.
So,
Yeah. Yeah. And
yeah.
so so that makes that card even more impactful that it was after that happened, and so you were going through all that, you didn't have a way to really process it, and you're completely correct. I mean, our brains, our prefrontal cortexes are not developed, so to go through that kind of trauma, um, usually when you go through trauma, you kind of stay emotionally at the age that it happened. Did you looking back, did you notice any of that where you were not able to, do the things that you
Oh, for sure.
wanted to at that age as an adult?
Yes. Oh,
Yeah.
definitely. And I think a lot of it I really started to learn when I got married and had kids. Like, I think
Mhm.
kids really shine a light on a lot of your um unmet needs or places where you need to grow.
Right.
And that's why I say they're our biggest teachers. They really are every day.
Yeah.
um and whether it's new things that we're learning every day or things that we're unlearning, trauma
Mhm.
that we've stored, or just um things that we've disassociated from. So I think it's a mixture of all of those things. And I think there was that sprinkling kind of happened because I think I made people timid. Like, I was
Mhm.
almost unapproachable. I
Really?
was emotionally unavailable, and I slip
Mm.
back into that sometimes still. I really have to be aware and
Mhm.
get back in my heart and talk to God,
Mhm.
because it's so easy to slip back into that. You get comfortable, and
Mhm.
it's like a muscle. Like, it's just used to being used one way, and you can easily, go back into it, or you can easily injure it, and it goes
Mhm.
right back where it was. So um, it's like that. I think it took a long time for people to crack open my heart.
Yeah. Aw, that's yeah, I could see when you shut down and then you do become unemotionally available because it's a way of guarding yourself and not having to feel all of those huge emotions. Like, how do you process that? Especially at such oh, you're so right. At 14, and that's when most of my trauma happened as well, like 14, 15. And it shaped so much. Like, for me, it affected my self-worth. Like, I was continuously looking for validation and self-worth outside of myself, and it was easy to get from, boys at the time because they're all looking, you know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
that had continued into my adult life, and I realized, like, this isn't what I don't want my self-worth to be dependent on, anything outside of myself. Did you struggle with anything like that?
Oh my gosh, yes. And it definitely showed up in my divorce.
Mhm.
Um and there's still places it shows up in my marriage now. Like, I still have
Mhm.
struggles with that, and where it's
Yeah.
like, okay, I still need some work in that area. Okay, God, like, where do I need to go here? What do I need to do here?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, for sure. Yes. 100%. The self-worth,
Yeah.
um the voids, the running from things that you don't want to face about
Mm,
yourself or emotions. Um,
mhm,
yeah.
mhm. 100%. So when you said about your children being your biggest teachers, I felt that because when my girls were, getting into their teen years, I decided I was like, I'm done drinking alcohol. Like I had to use it for some years to like cope with anxiety, like, oh, I'm feeling anxious, I'm gonna have a drink. And then I would just come back tenfold when I would wake up in the morning, or I'd wake up at like 2 o'clock in a panic because my neurotransmitters are all over the place. And I realized like I didn't want my kids to be raised by the demons that I would not face. And so I made
Ooh,
it
that's so
such
good.
it's so but it's so true, right? Like
Yes.
we are I feel this in my soul that the millennials came to break the generational patterns that have been passed on. And
Yes.
God says like that Satan can go back to up to 3 to 4 generations and really it's not that it's our fault. However, he has access to that. So then those iniquities he ends up using against us. And then that's how the things in our life, even though we're saved, we start to see like patterns and behaviors that we're just like, why is this happening? And so it's like when you actually go in and deal with those and break that so your children don't have to do it, it is the best work you could ever do. Even it's hard though. Does it feel
Yes.
good like carrying that responsibility? No, it sucks. Sometimes we need the one that
Yes.
goes and does that work, but it's so worth it.
Oh my gosh, yes. Oh, yes, I am right with you. 100%, yes.
Lots of work, lots of growth, but
Yes, yes.
um so
And I do not drink either. I
yes.
haven't for maybe going on 4 years now, and it kinda started for health reasons, like, I just didn't feel
Yeah.
good anymore. I just
Yeah.
was tired of not feeling good, but
Yeah.
I had turned to it for kind of anxiety,
Mm,
um,
mhm,
social,
mhm.
became kind of a social thing,
Yeah.
um and I'm so glad that it's now more normal to not drink than drink, like
Yes.
or maybe that's just the world I'm in, but, um, it's it's been a huge game changer for me, just energy and being a better
Mhm.
mom, and I feel
Yeah.
better. I feel like I'm less I feel like I look better. I'm less
Yeah.
puffy. I mean, just all
Yes.
the way around. That's amazing that you're able to do that and that you're continuing
Yeah.
that path because it is, there's really no good that comes from it. No matter
No.
what they say about a glass of wine is good for your heart. No, it's really not.
No. No, I agree. It was something that ran in my family, right? Like I saw it.
Mine too. Oh my gosh,
Yeah, I've
yes.
seen it destroy some people, and thank goodness, some of them have been able to come through it, but I mean, it'll be 5 years, I think, at the end of the month since I have been alcohol free, and it truly was the best decision, like, I don't miss it, it's just I feel so good, and I
Yes.
so living in Wisconsin, it's tough because, like, if you look at the 10 drunkest state cities and, like, we pretty much cover 8 of them, which is kinda sad, but,
Oh my
um
goodness, yeah.
yeah, so for me, it was a little bit of a different experience, like, sometimes I noticed people would be like, "Oh, well, we just didn't invite you because we didn't want you to feel awkward," and it's like, well, you realize, like, you don't have to drink to just hang out with somebody that shouldn't be the
Yeah,
focal point, right? Like,
right.
I don't know, I
So
think
much of what we do socially revolves around food and alcohol, and
yeah.
it really
Y
shines a light when you quit
yes.
indulging in those things. It's like, whoa,
Mhm.
so many people's
Yeah.
lives revolve around it and events and things, and definitely it's more prominent in different states and cities. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, and it's not even so, like, alcohol, that's just one of the things that people will turn to. I mean, you look at it can be if you're using anything to numb or not feel it could be shopping. It could be, like,
Oh, yeah.
really, not that exercise, but if you're that's, like, all you do and you won't do anything else to actually feel your emotions and go through it, that is a crutch, and if you don't face it at some point something will happen and it's going to override everything that you're doing to not escape it. And unfortunately, you see this if it sometimes it can get really ugly before somebody will actually face their emotions.
Yes. Yes. Oh, for sure.
Yeah, it's huge. It's huge. And I think for me, I'm sure with you too, like going through a divorce and then being remarried. And crazy enough, we're going on 11 years married and 16 years together. So it's been a
That's
crazy.
amazing. Oh
Yeah.
my god, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
It,
Congratulations.
thank you. It's been
It's not easy.
not, but the first, oh my gosh, the first like I feel like the first 7 years, it like you said, it was not easy. But then I feel as my faith has grown and now watching his faith grow, oh my gosh, I am just so grateful. It truly has been staying grounded and not giving up on each other. And now, like, we don't before I felt like we used to, like, butt heads, like, we felt like it wasn't us against the world, it was us against each other because I was feeling
Yes.
this way and now it feels like we don't if we have something, it's more funny, like, "You're annoying the crap out of me today," it's not like a serious, like, I can't it's
Yeah.
just not the
You
same
know it's
battle.
not gonna break you, but you can be a
No.
little more real.
Right. A little more it's almost more comical now, and now we both realize, like, it is truly us against what our problems and what we're up against, and, so I had really started reading the Bible, like, the first time, like, actually fully reading it and immersing myself, and that was just last year. I can't believe it's only been really a year since I really came into this, and so I decided to buy him a Bible, and I bought him one, and I'm like, I see him reading it every day, and I just was like,
That's
sometimes
amazing.
well, isn't it like such a testimony that sometimes we feel like like they have to do everything we're doing, but yet if we just hold, the example and show, and then they show up too.
Yeah. Be patient. This is
Yes.
so good for me to hear right now because we are in a very, very hard season. I think,
Mhm.
um, it is us against each other a lot,
Mhm.
and we both have Bibles. We're not
Yes.
good about cracking them open on a regular basis,
Yeah.
and it's easy for us to slip into our egos and,
Yeah.
um, so we're almost I mean, we're only almost 2 years married, 3 years together, but this is round 2 for both of us. So
Right.
we're really trying to not repeat, and we're really trying to work through things, but this is so good for me to hear today.
Oh, I'm so glad because it isn't easy, but you will, like, the longer you are able to come through those things, you start, and especially I think from what I gather, you were both very go-getters. You're very, like, and you work together, correct? Like, you do real estate
Yes.
together? Okay, so
Yes.
you're very immersed. You have a lot going on. So yeah, I could see how it would be a little bit more like, and the one thing, like, when it comes to relationships is instead of, like, this was one of my biggest things because I kept saying it was him. Like, there was, like, some times where I was just like, you're so it's so I can't, right? And I was just so focused on him, and finally God was like, if you don't go in and start taking care of yourself and allowing, like, what is coming up, it's never going to change. And that's really when things started to change in my life. Is like, instead of focusing on what I thought he was or wasn't doing, which I'm still, there's still times, right? Like, it's still going to be present, but it's not so, like, constantly looking at him and saying what he's not doing or what he's doing, and
Yeah.
that's been the biggest change, I feel.
That's huge. That is huge.
Yes.
Yes. I am definitely doing the first time around, I did not. I was very focused on everything my ex was not doing,
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
when you get to such a kind of lonely, desperate place, it's easy
Mhm.
to focus on all the bad, which is
Yeah.
a very dark place to be in. But this time around, it really is more self reflective. Like, okay, what am I doing here? What
Yeah.
is going on within me?
Mhm.
Very not blaming the other person and really just taking a step back and saying, what am I contributing here? And what is going on within me that's causing me to feel this way or focus on this way
Mhm.
and then grounding and getting back to God. Okay, God, what are you trying to teach me here? Where's the
Mhm.
lesson here? What's going on? And
Yeah.
then also recognizing that when you are in a faith filled relationship and you both are seeking God and wanting to do things at such a high level and
Mhm.
have an exceptional business, an exceptional relationship, and and you have super high standards, like, the devil's just going to be there that much stronger.
Mm.
And
Mhm.
I I don't focus on it, but I'm aware
Yeah.
that it is something that is going to happen, that will be, a distraction, a challenge, because the devil is there to fight against the people that are, working really hard for God.
Yes. Oh my gosh, that reminds me. I was just listening to Pastor Josh Howerton. I absolutely love him. He's just amazing. And he was saying that when you become saved and you really follow Jesus, you immediately get a target on your back. Satan is like, uh yep, you're it. I'm going to he seeks to wear us down, right? He's
Yes.
continuously gonna throw stuff, and his resources are limited, so he really targets your weaknesses and tries to go into that. And I noticed that even myself lately, like today, there was some like anger and bitterness that were in my heart. And I just sat with that and I said, God, what's going on? And then the Holy Spirit said, like, there is a spirit targeting your heart in that to really pull you into that bitterness. And I was like, yeah, I can feel it. And so I started working on that and realizing like I don't want to sit in that bitterness. I don't want to sit in that frustration and allow that to overtake me. So I think that that's one thing with like our emotions. I think so many people just don't realize like don't let your emotions dictate your actions, right? Like we have to be stronger than that or we're going to be led by our emotions our whole life. So it's like you said, the the enemy is seeking you, and when you are working for God, he is going to use his tactics. He's going to look at where you're weak and he's going to use those against you.
Oh my gosh, yes. Yes.
Mm.
And it's also good to, like, realize, like, those are my weaknesses, that's where I need to get stronger, you know?
It is good.
So, yeah.
It is because I think sometimes people see their weaknesses as weaknesses when really, if you are able to look at it and adjust and be like, yeah, this is something I'm struggling with. And I know that. And like, and for me personally, knowing now that I don't have to save myself. Like Jesus did that. So I'm not fighting for, my own saving. He saved me. So now what can I do? Well, I can realize that those emotions aren't me, like
Yeah.
familiar
Not
spirits,
true
right?
or not real. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and
Yeah.
that's the familiar spirit thing is, like, a concept that I've been learning through. So I'm very I still, I follow Jesus, but I also very much, like, listen to the people that talk about the spiritual fights that we go, and they talk about familiar spirits, which are, like, demonic spirits that they know you from birth, so they follow you, they see everything, and so they can't hear your thoughts, like, God can hear your thoughts. So but they will sit and, like, whisper little things. So, like, I have been taking lately when I hear it, I'll just stop and I'll be like, "You know what? I command you to burn at the foot of the cross in Jesus' name. You have no authority over me. Go." And it's like all of a sudden I'll feel this peace. And when people I think really start to connect to their authority in God because God gave us authority over the earth. He said, "Go, you have dominion over the earth, the seas, the bird, the animals." And when we don't live in that the enemy loves to come in and seek to destroy and defile and take you out of alignment.
Oh my gosh, it's so true. And speaking it out loud like that is so powerful.
It is. It's so I've started to every night go to my son. He he was having trouble sleeping because he'd been having some terrible dreams. So every night I go into his room and we plead the blood of Jesus on him. We put the full armor of God. I always say, no weapon formed against you will prevail. I teach him, I try to teach them that they have authority over everything. And I said, nothing can harm you. Nothing. I know that sometimes they try
That is
to like
so
scare you,
that's huge.
but arm your kids with that.
Yes. Yes. That's amazing.
It's teaching our children, I think, like as parents, we want to protect them. And there were times when I just wanted to let him like to protect him, just come in my room. But then I realized I was doing a disservice by not equipping him with all of
With the
the
skills, yes.
yes, and then letting him go into that battle because 'cause I'm sure he's in there, like, having that battle, and, unfortunately, he had saw some movie, and it was like a demonic thing, and so now he's absolutely And I can't say anything because I had the same thing. I was absolutely terrified, like, of The Exorcist, like, seeing
Mhm.
that her, like, go backwards on the stairs, like, terrified me because I didn't like I said, I didn't know my authority in God, and so now knowing my authority and trying to teach him that, it takes away, like, yes, that fear is there, but knowing I have authority over you and you cannot come in and speak negative over my life.
Yes, yes. Oh my gosh, that's so good. How old is he?
He's 12, so
Okay.
he kinda had a big transition at the end of last year. He's he loves hockey. Like, him and his dad, that's their thing. He loves it. It's just a part of who he is, and so they ended, they were state champs, so it was an amazing season. He had all these great friends, and then the next year, he knew that, like, he wasn't gonna be on the same team again, and it emotionally, I think, hit him in the heart, and so he started to struggle, and we kinda saw it. But luckily, I had him talk to a Christian counselor, and she really kind of helped him voice a lot of his emotions. And so that was something that I love because I have a hard time going to anyone that doesn't have a faith based orientation because
Yes.
you're not giving them that true, I feel the true foundation, which is the rock, which is God. Like,
Yes.
giving them that, and if you're not doing that, I just don't feel like we give people the power to come through what they're going through.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I 100% agree. Yeah. We've gone through a lot. We've gone through a lot of people.
Yeah.
But now I
Yes.
know, I'm like, I know right away. I'm like, okay, we need the right foundations here. Yeah.
Yes, I love that, and I just truly like hearing from you and seeing your faith, and that's something that I admire, and it's so important to surround yourself with people that, have that faith because just for as many people that do believe, there are people that unfortunately are blinded right now, right? Like, that's what it says in the Bible. It says that Satan blinds the minds of unbelievers. And so I try to use that because truly that's one thing I am struggling with is that bitterness and frustration. Like, don't you see? Like, I'm trying to work on that. And so I
Yeah.
realized, like, okay, it's not them, it's the spirit of, like, demonic spirit that is overtaking their ability to see, God and the truth. And two, I think when people like, get mad at God, it's because they've gone through something and they have seen it as an attack and a absence of God in their life as opposed to, something that happened and they, have had to go through.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I agree. Yeah.
It's very challenging, but
Yes.
I feel like it's worth it. Um, so we're kind of getting to the end here, but I would love to hear, what is one thing that you're really inspired by right now and you're excited that you're working on in your life?
I think coming into this kind of new year season,
Mhm.
after a lot of season of hard and change and adjustment, blending families, new marriage, kind of all of the like a new foundation, kind of
Mhm.
setting a whole new foundation. I'm
Yeah.
really excited to build. I'm really excited to build this year and kind of put
Yeah.
a lot of my creative ideas to work and
Mm.
a lot of things that kind of like a um pent up dreams and things that I want to
Mhm.
pursue. I'm ready to
Mhm.
just kind of dig into those things and implement
Mhm.
more, um, and kind of just use them where God wants me to.
Mm.
I'm just like, I'm really, whether it's in real estate, health and wellness, just connections
Mhm.
with, things like this,
Mhm.
just being more open and letting
Yeah.
God use me, but really kind of in a building. And I don't wanna say rebuilding. I don't really
Mhm.
like that energy
Mhm.
about it. Like, I'm
Yeah.
just kind of in a building phase right now. So I'm excited
Yeah.
to build this year.
I love that. I think too that like sometimes like real estate, maybe people don't really see just how spiritual that could be, but really you are working with people to I mean my house, like, I honestly sometimes never wanna leave because I just everything I need is here. I built, like, I have the things here. I feel like I get to connect with God. Like, we have our own home gym, so to our homes really, like, can be such a our foundation. It's our spiritual it's where we
Yes.
go home. It's where we have our dinners. So I think that I'm sure you, of all people, get to be a huge part of that.
Oh my gosh, yes, that's what I love doing. Um I've never been like the big salesperson, like
Yeah.
top sales, top earner, top I love the relationship building and really
Yeah.
helping people build like my whole business is happy, healthy homes and Lux
Mm,
living. And it's like Lux living, like living a luxury life is living in a happy, healthy home. That's,
mhm.
healthy bodies, healthy minds,
Yeah.
happy space, healthy environments. Spaces where you like to be. A home should be your sanctuary. It should be your safe
Yeah.
place. It should be a place where you can go and rest and leave the world behind.
Mhm.
And I truly love helping people find that.
Mm. Oh my
So
gosh. That was
yeah.
beautiful. That was like, yeah. That's everything.
And
I
seeking it
agree.
for myself, I love helping people find that. So that's really kind of um, it's based in health and wellness, helping people
Mhm.
find that within their bodies and in their minds and their souls but also in their homes. Like our homes are one of the most we spend a lot of people spend a lot of time in their offices, but since COVID, a lot of people spend times in their homes now. And if
Absolutely.
they're not thriving in their home, it can be a challenge and it can play into every area of your life. So I really love
Mm.
that aspect
I love that.
of
That
what I'm
was
doing.
amazing. Yeah. Is there, um is there anything? Because like, in the health and wellness, is there anything you're particularly, like, working on, or is that just mostly personal? Like, do you foresee yourself doing anything for others in that field ever?
I
Or
don't know. Like
yeah.
I don't know if I want to step back into it or not. I
Yeah.
entered a competition. I'm very competitive with myself. And
Yeah.
so for me to motivate myself, I like to enter challenges and competitions. And so right now I'm running for Miss Health and Fitness, which is kind of
Yeah.
ironic because I've had this hernia surgery. So I can't necessarily work out and be like hitting the
Mhm.
gym hard, but it's a different message that I'm trying to share this time. I used
Yeah.
to be the person that was in the gym. I was the gym rat. I worked out a lot. I tore
Mhm.
my body down and
Yeah.
that was another addiction of mine, another,
Mhm.
outlet that led to an unhealthy place. So I'm currently running. I just made the top 20 cut.
Oh,
So if you want to vote
congratulations.
for me, can
I
find my links in my bio,
yes.
but on Instagram. But I'm running, and it's just a different message. It's more about really slowing down, listening to your body, taking care of your home, your body, your mind. And so I don't know where that's going to lead. I don't know if I
Yeah.
want to one-on-one train people anymore, but I love
Mhm.
sharing, I love inspiring, I love empowering. And in the
Yeah.
process, I'm doing it for myself. And so I don't know. We'll see where that goes. It's always a
I
passion of
love that.
mine. It's always going to be a part of what I do. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
I love that. I love that you said slowing down because for me, fitness has kind of changed a little bit. It used to be about like of course, right? Like the body, what it does, but now it's really about empowering myself. And I've noticed that I don't beat myself up. Like if I'm just moving, like at least going for a walk, doing something that allows me to honor my body, it's changed how I think. Like I'm not obsessed the way I used to be. Now it's like, okay, I know I want to walk because it's gonna feel good. I'm gonna get my dog out because he needs walks. But
Yes.
I love that you said honoring it and slowing down. That's so
Yeah.
true.
The importance of sleep and just what you're putting
Yes.
into your body, what you're consuming into your mind.
Mhm.
More longevity kind of
Mm.
minded thinking,
Yes.
less about vanity and how we
Yes.
look, but more about like what's going on the inside and
Mm.
how do we live a happier, healthier life? Like how do we have happy, healthy homes and really
Mhm.
enjoy the life that we have every day?
That is so true. That is so good. where can people like where would they follow you? Where's the best place to kind of see what you're up to and get inspiration for all of this?
So I am only on Instagram. I don't have
Okay.
Facebook. I don't do
Yeah.
TikTok.
Yeah.
So I'm at Sarah Meyer, Lux Living. That's mostly my real estate page. I share kind of a lot of real estate there,
Uh-huh.
education, some health and wellness sprinkled in. And then I
Yeah.
have another page. It's Grit, Faith, and Grace Club.
Oh,
And
okay.
that's a new page that I started this year. And that's where I'm sharing just more stuff from my heart, more kind of real faith filled everyday health and wellness, nutrition, just kind of all my passion. It's like my passion page. So you can find
Oh,
me at
yeah.
both places there.
I don't think I'm on that. So now I have to get on it. I didn't
I
even know
know
you
you
had.
might not be. It's very, very new. It's a
Yeah.
brand new page. So
Well, I'll get on there. And okay, so you also are in this competition, so they can vote for you. You have a link on your Deluxe Living page.
yep, there's a link on both pages.
Okay.
Um, and yeah, just click the link and vote me in. It's you can vote every day. It's one of those where it's like a 6-day countdown for the next cut, and then you get you have to make all these cuts until you get to number one. So it's a competition I've been wanting to do for years and years and years, and I never felt worthy enough. I never felt good
Oh.
enough.
Mhm.
And this year I decided I'm like I'm not the gym rat anymore. I'm not the CrossFitter. I'm not. Um, it's a very different mindset this time
Yeah.
around, and I just decided to say yes, and I'm
Mm,
doing it. So,
I love it. I'm proud of you. That's
thank you.
amazing. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for you. And of course, I will keep voting for you. And I'm excited to see how
Thank you.
this
Thank
goes.
you.
And yeah, it's a journey. So, well, I'm going to leave you with
Yes.
one last question, which
Okay.
is okay. So, for those that are on their faith journey and they maybe they're in a time of struggle, what would be a one piece of advice that you would give them?
Just always look for the lesson, slow down and look for what God's trying to teach you and tell you in those
Mm,
moments.
mm. That's
Try to
so
get into
good.
your heart.
Yes. Get
Yes.
into your heart. I love that. I feel like a lot of your everything I've heard from you is slowing down and getting in alignment. I mean, like throughout consistently throughout our conversation. So clearly, you are listening to where God is trying to take you, and I love it. I love that you're applying, and it's across your whole life. It's not just like one area. You're really trying to bring that into all facets of your life.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, well,
I don't
I am.
separate anything. I'm all things all the time.
Well,
Mom,
that's
wife,
amazing.
business, it all runs together. It ebbs and flows every day and I need God in all of it.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well, I think that was the best part of the advice is you need God in all of it. That is so true. So, I love that. I'm honestly so blessed by these conversations. I get on here and I'm always like, I know I'm gonna leave here with a full heart, which I am, and I'm grateful for that. So,
Oh,
thank
I'm
you
so
so
grateful
much.
too. I
Oh,
needed this today. It's the same
oh.
thing. It's like we both, yeah, I feel the same. Thank you so much for doing this with me today.
Well, yes, thank you. I'm so excited, and we'll definitely have to do this again. And I just can't wait
Yes.
to keep watching you and see your journey. So, thank
Yes,
you so
thank
much for
you.
coming
You
on.
too. Yes, so good to see you.
You too. Thanks for joining us on the redemption story. We pray today's episode reminded you that God's grace can redeem any story. If this blessed you, subscribe, share, and leave a review. And if you or someone you know has a story of God's redemption to share, please reach out. Until next time, keep walking in His grace.